makes a statement, it just penetrates your heart and just makes you really feel. That's right. Then the mind starts acting. When you start feeling, and that knowledge just affects the mind to such extent that the mind becomes exposed. So that's that kind of powerful presentation. It's what we all essentially need, and that was for Prabhupada. It was for Prabhupada. My Guru Maharaj made one statement. He said he had that realization. He said that he founded the Bhishma department. You know, the Bhishma is the main system to collect funds. And he had a lot of experience in writing letters. So he said how much effort, how much research, and how much, that information, what kind of information that has to be to affect someone to, give a contribution. So that's not easy. Usually you may read something and then who cares, whatever. You don't get affected, but if you get impressed or whatever, then you respond. So he said that's not easy. So that requires a lot of skill or some kind of empowerment, Shakti. It takes. It's not easy. So he said, then in that sense, how much powerful Srila Prabhupada is. Because what did Srila Prabhupada do? He just didn't inspire someone to give some contribution, to give some donation or whatever, but inspired everyone to give their lives. So how powerful preaching then that is. How powerful personality that is. You may be inspired to surrender, to sacrifice something, it's okay. But your life, something that is the most dear and essential to you, that's not easy. So that is possible only when it's requested or urged by someone who has such a power, who has such a purity, who has such a potency. Somebody who is capable of investing so much faith into us, so much trust into us, that we can be peaceful and take shelter of that information, that instruction. That's a very powerful personality. So then there's no doubt after that. There's no doubt, there's no some kind of reconsideration. So one follows what has been said before. So that's very powerful. So here also we see Krishna. Nobody can dispel the doubt that you can say. Except you, Krishna. So when Krishna speaks, it's all clear. It's all clear. It's so powerful. There's no reservation. One is impelled to surrender. So in the same way, the spiritual master, when he stresses upon certain information, presents some knowledge, then it will have very, very, very powerful effect. Okay, so any other points maybe? Now we had a few surahs now, so you should follow. Who will follow? Yes.
You asked, are there any points I have?
Yes.
So you asked us, you have to notice that the disciples of Prabhupada asked him why should we consider, or how do we know Lord Krishna to be Supreme Personality?
Okay.
And you explained that in the 10th chapter, a couple of verses, who has corroborated that they are authorities, like the saints and Vedas.
Okay, another time Prabhupada asked the same question.
Another time?
Prabhupada asked the same question.
Prabhupada asked the
Same question. How do we know? The devotees in one particular devotee was present, Brahmananda, 4 times. So he asked the same question. Then he gave the same answer. Prabhupada said no. He said because Krishna says so. Both answers are correct, but Prabhupada just made an emphasis. So it depends what stage is one, whether accepts Krishna or not, or at least anybody accepts some other authority. So in any way, authority has to be behind. Okay, yes.
You have said that we should clear all doubts by the sword of knowledge.
Okay, sword of knowledge. Yes, we should clear all the doubts. We didn't get that verse though, no?
I found it. It's the last verse of the fourth chapter.
It's the last one? Okay, let's see. Fourth chapter. Okay, therefore the doubts that have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed with a weapon of knowledge, armed with yoga, O heart, stand and fact. Patishpatish Bharata. Tasmat Agyana Sambhatan Pitstam Kenasanatmana. Tvainam Sabshayam Yoga Patishpatish Bharata. Yeah, that's one. So the doubts can be slashed, the demons can be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. This is what should be done. Okay, so any questions on this? Or we'll read or hear a summary of the commentaries.
So, has it ever happened, not just on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, that Arjuna has taken Lord Krishna's advice?
Has it ever happened that not just on battlefield, but Arjuna took Krishna's advice?
He was in that time, he was then
Krishna was always with them. Krishna was always guiding them. I'm trying to recollect Mahabharata. The Mahabharata since there's a lot. Krishna comes occasionally. Krishna comes when they were in incognito. He gave advice on it, but I can't recollect the details. Krishna gave advice when they were leaving the planet. They were going apparently to heaven. They were going back to the spiritual world. At the end, somehow Krishna is always there. Somehow or other, he just manifests when it's required. I think he gave advice to find the priest, guide them. That's how Daumya also joined them as a priest of the Pandavas. Daumya was always there. She was always somehow or other, directly, indirectly, Krishna was present.
there was an incident you narrated that there was a Brahmin, his son died, and
The gambling match, but it was opposite. That time, it was said Yudhishthira afterwards asked Krishna, how could this happen? And Krishna says, did you ask me for that? Did you inquire? He didn't. That's how bad things happen. Then Krishna emphasized, you didn't. Did you confirm? Did you find me? He didn't. That was the cause of it. So there was like different, yeah.
narrated one incident that Arjun, Brahmin approached Arjun and he said that my son is getting killed. So he helped him because he said I will undergo self-immolation if I'm not able to. So Arjun, Lord Krishna helped Arjun that time also.
Yeah, gave him advice also. And Arjuna didn't self-immolate, but then Krishna took him, and then they went all the way through the universe and different layers. Through Brahmajyoti, they met Mahavishnu, and Mahavishnu was the one behind, because he wanted to have darshan of Krishna. That's the story. Okay, so
Enough to remove our doubts.
so how is the doubt removed?
Doubt is removed by
Cutting.
cutting the knots in the heart.
No, just cutting. Like you have, if you cut the grass, is that enough? No, it will grow again. No matter how low you cut it, still it will grow again. So what do you have to do?
Right.
Uproot.
One has to uproot from the root.
Yes.
The root one has to remove that.
Or fry the seed that it doesn't sprout anymore. So that's what holy name is about. That's so powerful that completely destroyed.
Yeah, so when you remove the avidya,
Okay, so one thing is that Arjuna already has some experience of Krishna helping him out of his whatever difficulties he has and misunderstanding he has. So that means he already by 6th chapter, just through Bhagavad Gita, if we analyze, we can understand Arjuna already has experience that Krishna, whatever misgivings had faced earlier, Krishna is just dispelling one after the other, one after the other. Especially in the 2nd chapter, where Krishna starts speaking, explaining difference between body and soul, even position of one who is attached to fruitive results, whether one fights or doesn't fight, what are the consequences, the ways of action, karma, vikarma, akarma, it's transcendental knowledge. Then again, whether to act or not to act in the 5th chapter. So Arjuna is already pretty much inspired and impressed by Krishna removing Arjuna's ignorance. So that's why he said there's nobody else. And another point that has been said is the best friend, whom you wouldn't have the greatest confidence than in someone who is very close to you, somebody whom also you have a lot of trust over. So that's why Keshav Kashmiri pointed out here, Krishna is the most appropriate personality to dispel the doubt. Okay, next. Okay, so anybody has any doubt?
Who was Adi Shankara? Was he also?
No, Adi Shankara is in line of Dattatreya, in personal line. In personal line of Dattatreya. And Adi Shankara means first Shankaracharya, and later there are other Shankaras who have 4 different mats. And Dwarka mat, Shringeri, Badri, and Adi. They're also called Shankaracharyas, but they're not Adi. So Adi was the one who first known. With the impersonal school, Veda school.
I believe in any person.
Yeah, most impersonal Samaya was.
They take knowledge from
They take holy shastras. They follow the same culture, but their role is impersonal, or either it's merging or it's pure Bhagavan. There are different schools, but many are not favorable and they're very different schools. Okay, any doubts, comments, questions? Is this verse clear? Arjuna is asking Krishna to dispel his doubt because Krishna is definitely in a position to do so. That's. Okay, then we'll stop here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai. Bhagavad Gita Jai.